Now, before I'd gotten there, the prison had had an escape. I believe the boy's name was Kenneth Williams. He was a notorious prison punk that allegedly had gotten into the slop container. See, they had a place where they scrapped out all the slop into this big, it looked like a propane bottle, right? A big propane tank outside your house that they put on a trailer. And they'd hook up the boiler to it and get it steaming ass hot. And the story that was told was that Kenneth had gotten in that boiler, and then this guy named John Henry had drove him out of the sally port in that boiler and slop. And then he went on to kill a warden and somebody else in Missouri, I believe. It was a tragic event, right, for the penitentiary and for the state of Arkansas and for many people that loved him. But old John Henry had been in prison since 16 or something. John Henry was a lifer. He had life with parole, right? And so every so often, John Henry, because he was a 1B trustee, he could go in and out of the gate, right, unsupervised. He'd get a furlough. Because in them days, and maybe still today, if you're a 1B trustee for so long, you can go home Monday through Friday one time a year. So John Henry was raised in the penitentiary, lived in the penitentiary, loved in the penitentiary, ran the penitentiary. He was the man, all right? And he'd also had linked to abating a full-scale prison escape that led to murder of some people, including the previous warden of Cummins down there in Gould, Arkansas. But old John Henry had come up for a furlough, right? And so he went home on a Monday. John Henry, when I met John Henry, he was in his 60s. Well, I believe this happened in his 30s, early 40s. He had went home for the week on a Monday. And they said come Wednesday morning, John Henry was sitting outside the sally port, knocking, come on in. And he had bought him a couple of cases of oil for his tractor. Yeah. You got to be careful who you hang around. Yeah. He had his moment of freedom, and he turned back around and came on home to the penitentiary. Because that's all he knew. And if you're caught up in the circle of all you know is doping, robbing people's houses, tricking, doing fentanyl, doing baloney shit, harming people. You run around a bunch of adulterers, all your guys at work cheat on their wives. Then you got to be careful because you become what you hang around, right? In the most darkest of places, where isolation is the loudest thing in the world, a world inside a world. A penitentiary. A man can become so accustomed to that lifestyle that is what he longs for in the presence of freedom. Like old John Henry. And if you're constantly around losers, constantly around negative people, constantly around people that complain and moan and grind, right? That don't realize that each day that you walk God's green earth, and listen, I'll just really grasp this, that each day at the age of 51, just how lucky I am to be here still, that every day I get, Lord, is a gift. Father, thank you for that. And if you hang around people that don't value life, don't value integrity, then you will become like those people, just like John Henry became the penitentiary. And it doesn't discriminate. You ain't got to be locked up to be like that. You can be on God's green little pebble. Right here in Hot Springs in Benton, Arkansas. Be hanging around the next people, the wrong people. Next thing you know, you're going to prison. Next thing you're caught up in a murder trial because someone got a hold of some dope that you gave them, turned out it had fentanyl in it. And your kids will come visit you. Yeah, you won't go see your kids. They'll come to the penitentiary and see you. And y'all have them sorry ass nachos and those Lancashire sandwiches. The only good thing about visitation yard is they carry a lot of those pints of Bluebells in different flavors, but they run out quick. If you know somebody that's running with the wrong crowd, if you know somebody that's chopped up because they're around the wrong people, if you've got a prison story of escape, go ahead and put it in the comments. God bless you. Fluent English.